Hey, this is Different Careers with Kate Nudd. So feel free to understand chapter 9 of, the book. We have been going over massage principles and practice or whatever it's called. I don't have the book in front of me right this second. Anyways, I have tried to do 2 videos so far, and I was not able to do them. The first one was like 1 hour and 18 minutes long, approximately. And then the second one was shorter. And then this video 9-3 isn't working. And then again, just a disclaimer. I've had a lot of bad experiences in the country and the environment that I've lived as being a licensed massage therapist. So this whole entire subject triggers negative memories because, most of them aren't really that good. And so even though I wanted to be this super positive, loving, open-minded massage therapist where any client could come and see me and we could have this like open conversation where I was allowed to express whatever I believe and be open-minded. I expected the same for other people to be able to express whatever they believed and be open-minded, and we just have this mutual respect for each other that, hey, that even religious view or religious or political views, it's like if you had a difference of opinions, like, okay, I'll respect that that's your perspective. And I expected the same courtesy back. But I guess people in society don't know how to do that. They haven't grown up or become real adults. So even though that's the type of massage practice I wanted to be like, we can all be open-minded. We can talk about any subject. Anything is on the table, whatever you need to talk about. Literally, people did not have the ability to speak up as an adult when there was a topic that wasn't comfortable to them and tell me, you know what, I'm assessing how I feel in the moment. I can't handle that topic. I was wrong. I thought I could handle every subject, you know, every a topic for a conversation, but I can't. So no one knew how to be a real adult with me. So I thought I was seeing clients that were real adults, but I was wrong. So because what I thought an adult was is that you could handle your emotions. I thought you could respect that other people have emotions too. Um, that you're not trying to take on other people's emotions and stuff like that. So, um, and then it's like I thought if you work for other people, that they would strive to uphold all the rules of the state and the governmental system of the United States of America for massage therapy, and they didn't. And there was even sanitary stuff. And they didn't make a massage therapist at different spas do proper sanitary things. For example, the face cradle, it should be cleaned after every client, probably the bolster too. Maybe not necessarily all the doors, but probably that too. And they didn't allow, and both spas that I worked out, they didn't allow enough time in between clients to make sure those cleaning precautions, sanitary procedures could be implemented, because it takes time to do that, and they didn't want to pay the massage therapists for that time. So that is my disclaimer. Be careful what spa you pick. You might want to ask some questions about how they sanitize in between clients, especially if they make you pay for a 60-minute massage. they book their clients back to back, and there's only 10 minutes in between clients. So that means 5 minutes getting a client off the table and 5 minutes getting a client on the table. So if you're dealing with clients the whole time, where is the time that you need to sanitize the face cradle, the bolster, which is like a pillow under your ankles or under your knees, or and the doors that are involved in that room. So that's just the question I have for the spa industry. Are you making sure there's enough time for sanitation procedures after each client? Or are you willing to hire an individual? Well, that's their job, is to help massage therapists in your spa turn over the tables. Why aren't you hiring someone to do that if that's the rules of massage procedures for a certain state or government? Why are you skimping on not having that employee? Because in between turnover times, they could also be helping with sales at the front desk for products. They could help answer phones or answer clients' questions, when it's not that overlapping turnover times for massage. So just a thought. You're booking people back to back with not enough time for sanitation. Now, if there is a device where there was like some kind of robotic machine that could come in and you just push the button, it's like, okay, we're talking to this client, this robot does it for you, so you're multitasking at the same time, being client focused, that would be a different story or a different situation entirely. But in the spas that I worked out, they didn't have that robot feature where it's like, here, get this robot to help you turn over your room while making sure the client doesn't feel rushed getting on and off the table. Okay, anyways, so we'll just be going over 4 of the videos.
Massage therapy is one of the safest, least intrusive, and most effective treatment modalities in healthcare today. The therapist will encounter clients who have diseases or medical conditions and who are under medical supervision. Contagious or communicable diseases may be transferred to clients by unclean hands and nails and by unsanitary equipment and supplies, so it makes sense that infection control is part of a safe practice. A large part of infection control is to follow guidelines of and procedures for sanitation, which include the following. Use a standard hand washing procedure. Keep nails clean, short, and without nail polish. Keep hair clean and off the therapist's face and neck. Use clean linens for each massage. Subscribe to a safe method of handling contaminated linens and massage tools. Wear a clean uniform each day. Use a pump dispenser or a clean single-use dish for massage lubricant. Use gloves when appropriate. Do not perform massage when ill or when experiencing cold-like symptoms. Avoid massaging clients who are ill. Let's take a closer look at each guideline.
Okay, so again, disclaimer, what's coming up is in massage therapy school, we went over this chapter, and basically the massage therapist that was teaching the, overall basics of massage, which they called a Swedish massage for some reason. They're like, you know how to do all this hygiene stuff, right? We don't have to go over every single detail of this. Well, it's like, okay, why would have it been a very good idea for the teacher to do this anyways? Because, you know, you could be lazy at home, or you could have been raised with parents that weren't consistent on getting you to do certain chores. So it's like re-educating, you know, uh, a student and being like, you have to get better at being clean and diligent, and this is what it means to sanitize everything, and we need to think through everything. So it's like, okay, for instance, if um if you use lotion personally yourself, right, you're gonna put the lotion on your body and just use that bottle, and you're going to use that bottle over and over, right? Well, as a licensed massage therapist, it may take more time, but if this is your standard procedure with your own personal lotion bottles of like, okay, I used it, I touched it, okay, put it back on the shelf, I rubbed it on myself. Okay, a licensed massage therapist is you're massaging a bunch of different people, right? So if you even touch the pump mechanism of the lotion bottle or whatever, what's going to happen is, oh, you massage this client. Okay, well, that's your thought process. Okay, you touched it. Okay, next person touched it. Next person touched it. Next person touched it. You really need a teacher to like take a step back and be like, this is how you may have used your personal lotion bottles. But when you see clients back to back, you really need to sanitize any bottles, even lotion bottles, where it's like you're touching the pumping mechanism, because you're touching this person's skin, touch the bottle, then you would touch the second person's skin. That could cause someone to break out, because it's like touching one person's skin, the bottle, cross contamination. So you need to use some kind of disinfectant. You can spray all-purpose cleaner on a washcloth and then rub the disinfectant over the pumping mechanism or your essential oil bottle caps and stuff like that. And that's good. Same with the door, the face cradle, and the bolster. And you'll be good. But my teachers didn't do things like that. They didn't go over all these thorough details, so I had to figure some of this out on my own. So in the beginning, when I opened my own, massage therapy practice, it was like, okay, maybe that was why I went that route first instead of working for someone else, because literally the spas, I didn't see everyone take the time to let's really wipe down the face cradle. Let's wipe down the bolster too. If they did the face cradle, they skipped the bolster. They skipped wiping down the doors. So it was like, no wonders the first spa I worked for, it was like they're spreading germs all over the place. They're not disinfecting stuff enough. And I was like, yeah, I can't work here. I gotta go. So that was why I got out of like working for the first spa. And then the second spa seemed a little bit better because they were at least willing to wipe down the face cradles. But I didn't see them do the doors. I didn't see them do the bolster. So again, I was the more thorough, clean massage therapist, and people didn't want to pay me a legitimate wage. So it's like, okay, I wonder why people get sick, because people aren't following these protocols in their massage therapy practice. You're spreading germs.
Keep nails clean, short, and without nail polish. Long nails or cracked nail polish provide hiding places for pathogens and is not in keeping with sanitary standards. Long nails can also injure the client or break the protective barrier of gloves. Artificial nails are a high risk for fungal infections for the therapist and can be transmitted to the client. Keep hair clean and off the therapist's face and neck. Choose a hairstyle that keeps hair out of the way or secure it so that it does not touch the client. Because of its porosity, hair is a source of harmful microorganisms. Use clean linens for each massage. Launder all linens after use, as clean linens will help reduce the likelihood of infection and demonstrate to the client your commitment to quality of care. Wear a clean uniform each day. Do not wear massage uniforms for other purposes such as yard or housework. The uniform should not fit too loosely, as it will brush up against the client when the therapist leans over the table. The sleeves should be short to allow easy washing and use of forearms and elbows. Use a pump dispenser or a clean single-use dish for massage lubricant. Cross-contamination can occur if the lubricant is in an open container, becomes contaminated after use, and is then reused. To prevent this, use only closed pump dispensers. An alternative is an open single-use container. Use a clean spatula or tongue depressor to remove enough lubricant for single client use, and place it on a disposable pallet or in a sanitary dish. Do not perform massage when ill or when experiencing cold-like symptoms. Symptoms include sneezing, coughing, fever, or a runny nose. In this case, it is preferred to cancel clients or arrange for a colleague to substitute. If you sneeze or cough suddenly while performing massage, wash your hands or use a waterless antimicrobial agent to disinfect your hands. Avoid massaging clients who are ill. If your client is ill when he or she arrives for the massage, tactfully postpone massage until the illness has passed to safeguard disease transmission. Contamination occurs when in contact with contaminants, such as blood or respiratory fluids. Handle the contaminated massage linens or tools with gloved hands and avoid contact between contaminated linens and your uniform. For contaminated linens, wash separately in hot water using laundry detergent and a 1/4 cup of chlorine bleach. Dry using hot air. While linens are washing, discard gloves. Don a new pair and return to massage room. Use paper towels to clean the tabletop with mild soap and water. Next, disinfect any contaminated accessories such as bolsters and face cushions, as well as the tabletop with a solution of water and chlorine bleach in a 10-to-1 solution. Discard the contaminated gloves and paper towels in a safe manner. Finally, wash and dry your hands. Massage tools, such as pressure tools and T-bars, can remain contaminant-free by enclosing them in plastic wrap prior to use, then discarding the wrap after use. Contaminated implements used during the massage, such as pressure tools or T-bars that become contaminated, should be immersed in a 10% bleach solution or a 70% alcohol solution for 10 minutes. Additionally, treat any unidentifiable substance as unsafe.
Okay, so how do we go over this one? Okay, so this this video is basically locking you in. You're like, you can only use alcohol or bleach to clean everything. Well, why don't you use bleach and alcohol to clean your dishes after you eat them then? Why is dishwashing soap good enough? So if it's like, well, if a dish soap is good enough to clean your dishes and multiple people eat on different dishes, right? You're not locked in with one dish set only, or one plate, one bowl, one spoon, one fork you can only use, and it gets clean and disinfected where there's no germs. after you thoroughly wash it with soap and water and stuff like that, that it becomes clean. It's like, well, then there's different cleaning supplies. They will also work. You don't have to lock yourself in as only alcohol, only bleach, okay, to disinfect your massage therapy tools and stuff. So that is really my disclaimer, and be careful. Now with hand washing, this is the video that did not work and that cut me off. So what ends up, you not only have to spend like 30 seconds to a minute, or they were like sing happy birthday twice or something like that, but you have to like massage, like wash up to your forearm and your elbows. So it's, like I literally counted 20 seconds or 30 seconds maybe twice. So you're washing your hands a lot and stuff like that, and your elbows, because if you massage someone with your forearm or your elbow, oh well, you gotta wash it. So there are pictures in the book that go over that. Unfortunately, the video did not work to show it. Part of this CD ROM thing that I'm using, it got scratched, so that's the section that got scratched. So hand sanitizers.
Other hand washing measures include the use of a waterless hand cleaner. These high alcohol content gels are designed for field use in sporting events and on-site chair massage appointments where hand washing may not be convenient or even possible. Be sure to follow the directions listed on the container.
So yeah, disclaimer, sporting events. So that means, okay, you take your table to a location. You are not dealing with sheets. You're just having people get on and off the table. Maybe trying to do longer amounts of time for a massage, and you're just doing compression through clothes or whatever. Or there's chair massage, where literally people are sitting in a massage chair and you're focusing on just massaging the back, not the rest of your body, not the rest of the client's body. And so it's, what's it called? Clothes are on. So again, at these different events, are you really going to be able to go back and forth to the bathroom in between clients? So yes, you do need that hand sanitizer in between clients. So again, this isn't something they really went over in school. However, they did tell you to bring some kind of wipey thing to wipe off the chairs. So it's like while you were touching the all-purpose cleaner wipe stuff to wipe off the massage chair or the table in between clients that got on your hands. So it's just like you could use that to clean your forearm and your elbow or whatever if you were in a bind and you forgot your hand sanitizer. Again, so one of the things I did do is I had all-purpose cleaner with essential oils in it, diluted in water. So there are a bunch of times that's what I ended up just using. But you really do need to think things through. And it would have been nice if your teacher was like, these are the procedures, because it's like we did chair massage and they may have handed you pieces of paper, but it's like, why can't you verbally go over this in school and be like, this is the procedures before you do your chair massages? You need to wipe the chair in between each client. You need to make sure you use that disinfectant wipe on your hands and your forearms and stuff, because you're going to be working on tons of different people. They didn't go over that. So it's like, communication is the key here for teachers. And it's like they laxed on certain important instructions concerning hygiene in massage therapy school. So I'm bringing it up now. Yes, make sure you have that. Okay.
Use gloves when appropriate. Disposable gloves are to be worn anytime the therapist has a cut or open wound on the hands, when handling contaminated linens, when disposing of trash, or disinfecting massage equipment that contains body fluids. Other reasons are when entering the oral cavity, such as for internal TMJ massage, when the client requests that the therapist wear gloves, or if the therapist doesn't feel comfortable without them. Wash your hands before gloving up. Glove up discreetly and quietly. If a glove is torn or damaged during a procedure, it must be removed, the hands re-washed, and a new glove replaced immediately. The two most popular glove materials are latex and vinyl. Each has its assets and liabilities. Latex gloves are thin, strong, and conform to the therapist's hands like a second skin if the right size is chosen. They are available in a variety of sizes and are affordably priced. However, most massage lubricants are oil-based and break down latex glove material. If latex gloves are used, a water-based lubricant is needed. Additionally, many people have latex allergies or are latex sensitive. Symptoms of latex allergies include rashes, itching, or more seriously, respiratory difficulties. If any of these symptoms are experienced by the client or therapist during use, remove the gloves immediately and seek medical attention. Vinyl gloves are thicker, greatly reducing tactile sensitivity until the therapist becomes skilled at palpating while using them. They do not have the stretch capability of latex, so they do not conform to the therapist's hands as readily. Vinyl gloves are also more expensive than latex gloves.
So
Care must be taken when removing and disposing of gloves to restrict possible contamination from the glove surface. One safe method of glove removal is to peel the first glove from the cuff to fingers so that it is inside out. Then the removed glove is placed into the palm of the other hand so that when the second glove is peeled off, the first will be contained inside. The removed gloves need to be disposed of in a closed container. Even after careful removal and discard of the used gloves, the therapist should wash and dry his or her hands thoroughly.
Okay, so disclaimer with gloves. Okay, so I read these procedures in school and was like, okay, part of the whole glove thing was if you get a cut on your finger, they advised using a glove. So, I guess when I was doing clinicals, for whatever reason, I did a clinical. I cut my hand the first client or whatever. I used a glove on the one hand or whatever. They didn't say that they didn't like the glove. The client was silent the whole time during the massage. I sensed there was something off, but they didn't communicate with me, because the book, didn't give instructions of make sure you disclose to your client what's going on. Oh, I have a cut. I need to wear a glove for protective reasons. Like, are you okay with me still massaging? Do you want 2 gloves? Are you okay with like one glove on, one glove off. You know, it didn't tell you to talk to your client about what was going on. So, I'm in the process of changing over my table. My overseer instructor for massage clinicals comes up to me and is like, that client complains so much. And I was like, well, I have a cut. I was wearing a glove. And they're like, don't ever do that again. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? I had a cut on my finger. Oh, and so then they were like, oh, well, there's liquid Band-Aid you can put on your finger. You just have to go to a pharmacy and buy some. And so I don't know. I think they might have had a Band-Aid or something, but like it kind of wrecked the whole. It might have been the first client, and I had like 3 clients or 2 clients or something like that. But it like really like the person was not understanding that I was a student, that I was learning massage techniques and stuff like that. And so instead of like asking me like, hey, why do you have a glove? You know, something feels funny. They were just like, you just did a terrible massage. I didn't like it at all. And they chose to complain. We're students. When you're students, you're learning techniques. So it's like if you're a client coming in to seeing students when they're practicing new techniques that they're learning, it's like, can you please be understanding that we're learning these new techniques? And this individual wasn't. And it was just like, okay, so what did I do? It like almost put me in tears. I wanted to burst into tears and cry, but I held back the tears because I was so distraught that someone would come to a massage therapy school to get a massage, and all they did was choose to be like, no, you did a terrible massage because you had one glove on one hand and not on the other, and you were supposed to automatically know to talk to me about this before the massage. You're supposed to know everything, even though you're in massage therapy school. Like, that was like the attitude that was presented. And so it's like, okay, but I took that. I was like, in the future, if something goes wrong, explain what's going on to your clients. Now with the liquid Band-Aid, I ended up just putting 2 layers, had to make sure it dried. No one ever complained about the liquid Band-Aid stuff. One time I got poison ivy near my wrist. So as a reminder, don't massage, you know, with it. I was like, okay, I'm wearing a glove, safety precaution. I got poison ivy. It's in the process of healing. It's like not contagious or whatever. Clients were fine with the one glove. No one really wanted 2 gloves for some reason. I think they still wanted to feel the skin to skin contact with at least one hand. So no one complained. But then like one massage therapist was like wondering what I was doing, and they're like, you shouldn't be massaging someone with poison ivy. And I'm like, that's why I'm wearing a glove. So it was like, does this massage therapist understand massage therapy protocols? Like, you can cover up like your like poison ivy or poison oak rash, and you're no longer contagious. It's not an airborne disease or whatever. So I was really confused, but it shut the therapist up. But like that massage therapist claimed to be like a physical therapist beforehand, assistant, and then they went into massage. And when they talked, they seemed like, I know everything about massage. I know everything. So it was like I was shocked that they would be saying, oh, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be massaging when you have poison ivy, even though you're wearing a glove that covers it up, and you're not actually like gonna allow the client to actually touch the poison ivy that's on your skin while it's healing or whatever. So it was like, again, I live in a society where it's like, okay, you learn certain protocols in school, and then someone else comes and like, no, I don't agree with the massage therapy textbook of what to do in case you have a poison ivy and you still can massage somebody. Poison ivy is not contagious if it's in the healing stage. If you have a fresh oil on your skin and you touch someone, then it's contagious. That is the exception to the rule. So, or your pet's fur or something like that. So, I don't know why that massage therapist said that, but it made me very mad. Also, another disclaimer is, well, I live in a society where they don't pay you for every single second, minute, and hour that you work. So a client would come in, they did pay for some of the time, but there's like the behind the scenes of you have to wash your sheets, you have to disinfect the room, you have to file soap notes for the client. So it's like, well, what about that other missing time of or even waiting for the client if the client's late? Like, are you really gonna get paid for that time or whatever? Being flexible. So I never got paid for my full time when I was in working for myself, and I never got paid for my full time when I was working for other individuals. So, and technically when I worked for myself, because you had all the business expenses that you had to dish out yourself, I ended up getting paid less. And then also, I didn't have a client list given to me of, here's people in the area that need a licensed massage therapist. Feel free to reach out and contact them and be like, hey, come try me out or whatever. That wasn't given to me ever. So it was like, oh, you have to like build up your own clientele and get your own clients to come in and be repetitive. Well, everyone kept telling me, oh, we don't really value a massage to get a massage once a month or twice a month or once a week or whatever. So it was hard to really develop clients to come in on a consistent basis when I was working for myself. And then in a spa setting, they didn't do a good job making sure the whole calendar was booked and consistent either. So sometimes there was missing clients on my calendar, and I was constantly trying to be like, hey, can you please make sure I'm fully booked? Can you please make sure I'm fully booked? Can you please make sure I'm fully booked? And then they were irritated and annoyed at me because I wanted to be fully booked. Well, I want to get paid because you need a certain amount of money to be able to pay all the expenses of life. And so I was constantly thinking about financial problems. So it's like, okay, well, I need to get a job in the future. I need a job where I'm going to get paid a consistent income, and it's going to supply all the basic needs of my life that you need, like food, water, shelter, clothes, maybe some basic cheap jewelry, a week, at least a year, where you get a paid vacation and you're making enough money where it's like you can go on vacation and you can go on a hotel or you can go on a cruise and you get paid for that, right? Well, in a way, you get paid where it's like, hey, you made enough money, so here's your vacation that you're choosing to go on. Okay, cool. And then you work maybe like 5 days, 4 days, or alternate 4 to 5 days, and maybe sometimes have a longer 3-day weekend or something. So it's like I did the best I could to learn in massage therapy school. I did my best to obey my bosses when I worked at 2 different spas. And it's like society isn't set up so someone can pay all their expenses that they need to sustain life, because you need a car, you need car insurance, you need to be able to save for retirement. But it was like, okay, you need money for health insurance. And then if you only have enough energy to work like approximately 20 hours a week, or a little over 20 hours a week, it's like the companies were like, we're not going to pay for full health insurance for you. It's like you have to pay out of pocket. And it's like, okay, so I went years without health insurance, and you have a governmental system that's trying to dictate, hey, you need to pay for, you are mandated to have health insurance. And then you go to the health people in the medical field, and they're like, eating a living being that became dead will give you all of your nutrition. Now, whatever species I really am, which they called human, they're like, we don't eat humans, we're not cannibals, but you can eat your pets or your beasts, that were once alive. It's okay. You can eat a chicken embryo. It wasn't fertilized, so it's okay. You can drink cows or goats' breast milk. It's okay. It gives you nutrition. And my body, for health, was always telling me to reject it. So it's like, but yet there you have the medical field making science stuff up. You have bosses not following all of, the New York State massage therapy rules and guidelines, and the government not enforcing those guidelines. So it's like, it is what it is. So I did the best I could, and I failed because people said they cared about the rules, but no one abided by any of the rules. So it's just like, we're going to just do whatever we want, but we're going to make you abide by all the rules. And if you don't abide by all the rules, you're going to get in trouble, and we're going to penalize you. So it's like, they enforce the rules with me, but everyone else got away with breaking the rules, is basically what it comes down to. So society as a whole does not have any respect for me, is what it seems, even though I did my best to be loving and caring to everyone else and follow the rules, even these guidelines. But seriously, spas did not really follow these guidelines. So it was just like, really? Like, what is wrong with people? So again, I try to be positive. I try to look for the positive in life, but it's like, well, if people are telling you to follow a whole bunch of rules, and then they're not going to do it, that they're not going to make sure the rules are implemented if they're a boss, it's like, what's going on? Why am I mandated that I follow all the rules, but you don't have to follow the rules? Okay, well, we live in an unfair society where they have unreasonable expectations of me, and I don't know what to do anymore. So I'm going to do my best to love myself, and hopefully one day robots will be invented that are better than all the other licensed massage therapists I've seen in the past, and they'll do a thorough, good job and give me a massage that's thorough and beneficial. And I actually feel the places where I feel muscle tension, I actually thoroughly work all that muscle tension out, and it sticks. So I look forward to society changing, where there's robots that will do a really good, thorough job with different things that need to be done, because no one really wants to do anything. They say they want things done, but then they don't do anything to make sure it gets done. But then when it comes to me, they're like, oh, you have to make sure that got done, otherwise you're in trouble. So have you had any experiences like this where it's like your boss or other people put expectations on you and be like, you got to follow the rules, and then they don't follow the rules themselves. Feel free to put that in the comment section below. What was your experience? And do you have a positive solution? What did you end up doing to reach your positive solution? How did you deal with those individuals? Because I'm not sure how to deal with them, because they just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And so it is what it is. So at some point, I gotta, level up to a higher level of positivity where there's way less negativity, but who knows when that will be. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.